relationships, Rach?
I don't know if I'm qualified.
Someone told me the other day, you need to stop saying on the podcast, you can't talk about relationships because like you're not married, because I say that.
Yeah.
But they're like, nope, everyone's got relationships, close friends, family.
Yeah. And John and I were talking about this before we jumped on because I looked at this point about relationships.
Oh, I must have been making you coffee.
You were making – it's actually delicious.
Very good coffee too.
But if I could go back and give 21-year-old Rachel some advice, I would say to be more careful of who you spend your time with, because I think sometimes we keep those friendships that are just because you've had them since school or you've had them since uni, and you're not actually thinking about the energy that person's giving you. But now,
taking from you.
Or taking from you. And now at this age – you know, if that relationship's draining me and it's not giving something back and it's not a reciprocal relationship, I'm not interested in it. But I didn't know that in my 20s.
Yeah. Is it a confidence thing or is it just a maturity thing?
Yeah, so the young people in my office at work in their 20s, they are much more aware of these things than I was at the same age. They are the language they use, these Gen Zs, are about, you know, reciprocating relationships, energy,
really?
The vibes. You know, it's about, and I think they're becoming much more aware of those things at a younger age.
I like it.
I was talking to someone the other day on the phone about something. I'm not going to go into any detail, but halfway through the phone call, I'm like, this person actually isn't my friend. They're in the circle or whatever because I asked them something that was quite serious.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're not for me. Like, but if you learn that sooner, I think it's a boundary thing as well.
Yeah. And we become like the 5 people we spend the most time with. Who do you want to be spending that time with? If you're, you know, the group of friends that I'm in now, they're constantly inspiring me to be better and do better. And I'm always reaching for different goals. You don't want to be the only person in that group pulling people along.
Yeah, you don't want to be the leader.
No.
Yeah.
And I think it's about, there's friends and life-giving friends. Who gives you life? Like my friend Chriso the other day, he'll call me out of the blue, hey, just checking in, what's happening? Like not calling because they need something.
No. Yeah, and I think it's the energy and motivation you derive from each other. And it's like when you're down and out, having a bad day, who are you going to ring? And they're the ones that you probably hang your hat on.
Yeah.
It's like who are the ones that inspire you? But
in relation to romantic relationships, I'm probably saying to anyone, don't ignore red flags. They're a red flag for a reason. If you think it's a red flag, again, ask one of your close friends, trusted friends, who are gonna tell you hard truths, because that's what you want. No, I don't think that's good for you. No, that's straight up coercive control. No, that's straight up you're getting financially abused.
yeah,
I used to like to collect red flags like a sport.
yeah.
You did.
You did. Yeah. Well,
Lol.
what was that sport called?
It was called collecting red flags.
Yeah.
The championships.
And conversely, don't give them advice without asking if you're allowed to give it, because that can end in tears as well, can't it? But yeah, you're right. It's the same thing. Like whether it's your friends or you're in a relationship with someone, affectionate relationship, the red flags are red flags wherever you look, aren't they?
Yeah.
So, and I think part of it is, well, growing up, we're taught to be nice to everyone, and so we don't flick a friend if we feel they're not going to be in our circle. Like, so there's probably part of that as well.
Hey, it's Glenn here. Thank you so much for watching today's video. You made it to the end. Can I ask a favor? Can you hit that like button and maybe hit subscribe if you want to get notified when we release further videos just like this one, whether you watch the Money, Money, Money podcast or Retire Right. And remember, if you want to learn more about investing, I've got an investing book, The Quick Start Guide to Investing, and there's a link in the description to get your hands on a copy. Thank you so much. Bye.